conjugate beam today. So if you will see, then we have four methods. So we will first have Macaulay's method, then conjugate beam, then moment area method, and then we have Castigliano's first theorem. Now we are interested with this conjugate beam method. So this is actually easy to determine slope and deflection. Macaulay's, we have drawback that EI should be constant, then only we can use Macaulay's method. Otherwise, we cannot use it. Moment area and conjugate have same concept. And Castigliano's, this is little bit tedious or lengthy, I can say, when we have to find slope or deflection at different points. Now, if we will go to conjugate beam, then we have conjugate beam is an imaginary beam. So we have is an imaginary beam. So this is most important, imaginary beam. So we have imaginary beam with same length and EI, but the loading on the beam is M by A diagram. This is again important one. So these two terms plays very important role. One is imaginary and another we have M by A diagram. So if we understand these two, then we are going to get this as easy to solve the problems. Now we have, when we are going to consider this imaginary beam, so we have to convert this real beam into conjugate beam. Now we will first go, we have fixed end we have to convert in free end. So this is important, which ends we are going to change. Then we have free end. So free end if we have, then we have to convert this as fixed end. Then we have roller support. Now this is important. Here we do not have any change. Roller and simple support remains as it is. But where we have these supports are at end. So we should be very careful. These are at end. Then only these supports remains as it is. Now continuous support. Then continuous support remains internal hinge. So there is change, continuous support remains internal hinge, and internal hinge remains it as a continuous support. Now you can see, so here we have first, now you can see this is fixed end. So what will be fixed end becomes? It becomes cantilever end. And what will be about this end? So this is cantilever. What will be there? So that will be fixed. Now you can see this. So I will number this as 1. So 1 is fixed. So here I made 1 as free. Now you can see 2 over here. So 2 I have free. So what will be 2 over here? So 2 over here we have fixed. So we should be careful with this. In the same fashion here you can say, so we have 1, we have 2. And then you can see over here, so 1 free becomes fixed and 2 fixed becomes free. So we should be careful with this, how we have to change this. Now you can go to third. So we have this as simple support. So now simple remains as it is. A roller remains as it is because these are at ends. So you can have at ends as it is. Now we can have next simple support. So this is at end. So I will mark 1 and this also I will mark as 1 because these two remains as it is. But if you will go to roller, then roller we have continuous support. Now this is not roller support. Now this roller becomes internal hinge. You can see 1 will be as it is, 1 will be as it is. But this second, this will be your continuous support which becomes your internal hinge. And now if you will go to third, then you have this simple support again remains as it is. If we will mark it as 1, 1 remains as it is. But now I have this will be internal hinge. Then here it becomes as continuous support. So we should be careful with this, how we are going to change this real beam into conjugate beam. and then when your M by EI diagram you are going to acting on conjugate beam, then only that will act as loading. So this table plays very important role when we are going to plot the diagrams. Now you can go to next. So we have steps. Now you can see what is first step. Draw conjugate beam of the given real beam. So this is important one. You have to plot conjugate beam. How we are going to plot conjugate beam, that we have seen. So this is first. Then we have plot M diagram. So this is second step, most important, M diagram. So we have to plot M diagram. Now when we will go for M diagram, then we have next plot M by EI diagram. Now we are going to divide it by EI. If my EI is constant throughout, then I can put EI as EI only. Then we have, if EI is constant throughout this span, then plot directly M by EI diagram. So this is directly if you have EI constant. Then we have shear force at any point. Now this is important. Shear force at any point will gives you slope. So these two terms, shear force, that will gives you slope. So if I will calculate shear force at any point, but where? In conjugate beam. So if I will find shear force at any point in conjugate beam, that will gives me slope in which beam? That slope is in real beam. So that is important. These two equations are most, these two statements are most important. Shear force gives slope, but that shear force is in conjugate beam and slope is in real beam. Now you can go next. So bending moment. What will gives me bending moment? Gives me deflection. But where I have to find bending moment? I have to find bending moment in conjugate beam. If I will find bending moment in conjugate beam, where it will give deflection? It will give deflection in real beam. So shear force in conjugate beam gives slope in real beam, and bending moment in conjugate beam gives you deflection in real beam. So this is most important when we will go for slope and deflection in conjugate beams. Now we will go for this. Now we have sign conventions that we will see. So while applying this sign convention, we have to keep in mind we are considering left part of the section, and bending moment we have considered on compression side. So these two are most important. Now we will go this. So now we know, so we have this shear force. This shear force, we have upward positive, and bending moment we have clockwise positive. So we have this sign convention. Means if my shear force is downward, then it will be negative, and bending moment is anti-clockwise, it will be negative. This is most important. We are considering a left part of the section. Now we will go for it. Now we will consider a simple cantilever beam with concentrated load at end. Then what sign convention we are using? So now for slope and for deflection. So now we are going to plot this bending moment diagram. So we have this bending moment diagram, PL upon AE. Now this bending moment diagram, we have taken PL upon AE. So as it is PL upon AE, that means we have this as a loading on conjugate beam. So as we have loading on conjugate beam, so we have this as loading. Now I have taken this upward. So if in compression diagram, if I will consider it as upward, then you can see my shear force is positive and my slope is clockwise. Shear force is positive. Why? Because it is in upward direction. I have fixed support over here. So we are in this fashion, fixed support. I do not have any reaction over here, and therefore we are going to get this as fixed support, and therefore I have shear force anywhere you can see is positive. Then what will be about deflection? Then you can see bending moment. Now bending moment, if you will take at any point, then you have bending moment also clockwise. So we have clockwise. So what will be deflection? So we have deflection is in downward direction. Now if I will consider these arrows in downward direction, now this we have choice. But you have to keep in mind same kind sign convention. Do not change throughout your life. You decide and go accordingly. You will get same answers. Now if I will consider over here, so you can see shear force we have positive. But here I will get shear force at any point. Again if you will see, we have fixed support over here, that is at right hand. And therefore we have at any point shear force is negative. That means I have shear force as clockwise. Now if we will go to bending moment, then I have bending moment clockwise plus. Now here I will get bending moment anti-clockwise. So I will get deflection actually downward. This is not upward. So I have deflection that is downward. So we have deflection here also downward. So sign convention you keep in mind. Sorry, for clockwise it is correct, upward. But what is moment we are getting? Moment we are getting anti-clockwise. So as moment is anti-clockwise, so we are going to get bending moment as downward. So that sign convention you have to consider. So clockwise here upward and here clockwise is downward. Here shear force positive clockwise, shear force positive anti-clockwise. So try to understand these sign conventions. Always keep these sign convention and go with the problems. You do not have any issue with this one. So if you have compression side, then we are considering upward, and if upward and then my sign convention I have to consider this sign convention, we have to consider this. So if we will combine, then you will be confused with this one. So we will go with sign conventions. We will show upward, shear force positive clockwise, bending moment clockwise. So now we will go with the problems. So now we will consider first problem, the beam AB loaded and supported. So whatever just I have shown, we are going to consider this beam only. So now you can see we have this end A is fixed and B is cantilever. So when we will go conjugate, it becomes exact reverse. Now after given beam, we have to go for M by EI diagram. Now we have cantilever beam. So at B, at cantilever end, bending moment is always 0. And at fixed end, we have bending moment is always maximum. That is, bending moment is at A max and bending moment at B, we have that is equal to 0. So now we will plot it. So maximum bending moment, what will be value? We have P this one and we have L this one. So we are going to get it as P into L. So we are going to get this as P into L, and that will be my bending moment over here. So you can see bending moment is PL upon EI. So we have this will be bending moment, and that bending moment we are going to get maximum, that is at fixed end, and bending moment at this is 0. Then you can go to conjugate beam. So in conjugate beam, what will happen? The support A is fixed becomes free. Support B is free becomes fixed. Then you can see A, it should be free. B should be fixed. Now I know conjugate beam, I know M by EI diagram. So now I can plot conjugate beam with M by EI diagram. So you can see this is conjugate beam and this is M by EI diagram. So now these 4 diagrams plays very important role. So we have given beam M by EI, conjugate beam with M by EI diagram. If your EI is not constant, then you have to go one more diagram. So we have one diagram M diagram, another M by EI diagram. So today whatever problems we have taken, we have considered all EI constant. Now we will go to the next. Now we know slope at B in real beam is equal to shear force in conjugate beam. So now we will go with this. Theta B is equal to shear force just left of B equal to area of M by A diagram left of B, and that will gives me half. Now we have this diagram. So just left of B. So I have to find over here. So what I will get? Area of this M by A diagram. What will be area? 1/2 triangle, area of triangle 1/2 L into PL upon EI. So what will be value of theta B? So we have theta B equal to PL square upon 2EI. So that is clockwise because I got value as plus, shear force as plus, so it is clockwise. Now deflection at B in real beam. So where we have to find deflection? Deflection at B, where? In real beam. So what I will get? Bending moment, where? In conjugate beam. So now I know force, I know distance of force. So I will take moment just left of B. Then what I will get? PL square upon 2EI into 2L by 3. So now you can see delta B, bending moment just left of B. Moment of area M by A diagram about B. And that will gives me PL square upon 2EI, that will be area, into its distance, that is 2L by 3. And that will gives me value of delta B, PL cube upon 3EI. So we have this as PL cube upon 3EI and PL square upon 2EI. Now standard cases, you should be in position to remember the values, because when we are in GATE examination or when we are in MPSC or IES, and that is objective type questions, and there we have to write down values, so to calculate it becomes difficult, but you can calculate it fast by using this conjugate beam. So this is first problem. Now we will switch over to the second problem. So now you can see this delta B is in downward direction. So now we can go to the next. So we have, that is second problem. So we have considered over here, that is the cantilever beam CB is loaded and supported as shown in figure. Determine the slope and deflection at cantilever end. So what is given? So beam CD with W will be the kilonewton per meter. Now what is next step? So we are EI is constant, not changing. So we have M by EI diagram directly. We need not require to go for M diagram and then we have to go for EI diagram. So we have directly M by EI diagram. So we have M by A diagram, and now we have this M by A diagram. You can see this. So we have parabola and we have maximum value that is at point C, and that will be PL square upon 2EI. So we have this value PL square upon 2EI. So we have PL square upon 2EI, we have M by A diagram. Now we will go conjugate beam. Now C is fixed. So we have C cantilever and B is cantilever. So we have this as fixed. So now we have this as conjugate beam. Now we have M by A diagram. So our next that we have to find out conjugate beam with loading. So we have conjugate beam and then we have loading on this conjugate beam. So we have in this fashion. So now knowing all this, then we can go ahead, that is to find out shear force and then we have to find out deflection. So now slope at B in real beam, that is equal to shear force at B in conjugate beam. So this is again important. Slope where we are going to get? Slope we are going to get, that is in real beam. But where we have this shear force? So we have this shear force that is in conjugate beam. So we have slope at B in real beam is shear force in conjugate beam. So now we will write theta B. So just left of B and then we have area of M here diagram. Now we can see we have, because just left of B. So all area we have to consider. What will be this area? So 2/3. So we have, sorry, 1/3. We have this parabola in this way. So we have 1/3 of PL square upon 2 EI, and that will use PL cube upon 6 EI. So we have PL cube upon 6 EI over here. So what will be its distance? 3/4 of L, and that will be from B. So knowing this value, theta B I will get. So 1/3 L into PL square upon 2 EI. So theta B is PL cube upon 6 EI as shear force plus, so it is clockwise. Then we will go deflection at B in real beam. Now just we have to multiply force into perpendicular distance. So delta B, just left of B, bending moment. And then we are going to get PL cube upon 6 EI into 3L by 4 gives me PL 4 upon 8 EI. So we have to keep in mind these values. I always tells that you have to keep in mind these values because these values are important values, and in competitive exams you have to remember these values, and so that you can write it fast. Now this will be second, then we have third. As we have bending moment, you can see clockwise, so we have deflection downward. So now we can go with next problem. So we have next, which is of M, that is couple. So we can see determine slope and deflection at cantilever end D. So now we have to find out slope and deflection at D. So we have to find at this point. So this is given beam. Then we will go with M by EI diagram. So M by EI diagram. So now my moment is constant. But now you have to practice M by EI diagram. So M diagram you have to practice. Then EI you can plot it. So today problems we have all EI constant, and then next we will go for EI different, so that you are in position to understand it. Now M by EI, that is constant. So conjugate beam. Now again same conjugate beam. C, which is fixed, becomes cantilever. D, which is cantilever, becomes fixed. And then we are going to get next conjugate beam with M by EI diagram. So this is conjugate beam and this is M by EI diagram. So now we will find slope. Now where? In real beam. Then if slope in real beam, what will be in conjugate beam? Shear force in conjugate beam. So now we will find it. So theta at D, just left of D. So we have to consider area. So area just left of B. So we have to consider area of left side. And then we are going to get this area, that is ML upon EI. So rectangle. So we have M by EI into L, and then it will act at, sorry, this will not be 3L by 4. This will act at L by 2. So we have this will be at L by 2. And then we are going to get ML upon EI will be theta D. And then if we will go again plus, we have shear force positive. So we have clockwise. Then deflection. So just take the moment. So we have this moment delta D, ML upon EI into L by 2. That will gives me ML upon 2 EI. So these are the standard cases actually, and you have to remember values for these standard cases. So these are three standard cases of which values you have to keep in mind. And now we will go with two problems, that again in the same way, and then next lecture we will be with combinations. So now we have this cantilever beam AB is loaded and supported as shown in figure. Determine the slope and deflection at B and cantilever end. So now we have, so at cantilever end, this is not B. So we have cantilever end as C. So we have determined the slope and deflection at B and at cantilever end C. Now we will go given beam. So now if we will go for this M by EI diagram. So now you can see 50 into 2.3. So we are going to get 115 upon EI. So that will be my M by EI diagram. This is for 50 kilonewton. So this is first, we have one. So this is for 50 kilonewton. Now conjugate beam. Now this we know, I will just show it. So we are in this fashion. Now we will go next conjugate beam with M by EI diagram. Now we have to plot this M by EI diagram on this conjugate beam. So now we have this conjugate beam, and then we have this will be M by EI diagram. Now we have to find out slope and deflection at B and C. So now we will go for this. So now we have slope at B in real beam is shear force in conjugate beam. Now we have to consider this portion only, that is between A to B. So we have theta B. So 1 up 2.3, 115 upon EI. So that will gives me value of theta B. So now we have this theta B, that is 132.25 upon EI radians. Now what will be theta B? Positive, clockwise, anti-clockwise. So now you can see we have shear force at B. That shear force we have positive. And at shear force we have positive. We have clockwise. Now you can go for slope at C in real beam. So is there any change in the slope? No. Whatever loading diagram we have in AB, so we have same in AC because no loading is between B and C. So whatever shear force is at B, same shear force will be at C. So my value of theta B and theta C are same. So you can see this, no load between B and C. So bending moment between B to C is 0. So that shear force at B equal to shear force at C. And then you can see shear force is same at B and C. So we have theta B equal to theta C, which is 132.25 upon EI. Again shear force is positive. So I will get this theta B, and that will be again clockwise. So we have this as clockwise. We have this as also clockwise. So we have these theta values, these are clockwise. Now we will go to the deflection. Now we can see this deflection. So at B, so now we have this will be low M by EI diagram for conjugate beam, and then if we will go to this, so we have to find deflection at B, we have to multiply, we have to find bending moment at B. Now you can see what is distance of this load from B, 2/3 of 2.3. Now you put 1/2 2.3 into 115 upon EI, which will be area of this load diagram. So area of load diagram is this A. And then we have this portion, that is CG of this area. So this is my CG. So 2/3 of 2.3. And then I will get this bending moment as 202.78 upon EI, that is in meter, provided EI is in kilonewton per meter square. So EI is in kilonewton meter square. So we have EI, that is in, E is in kilonewton per meter square, and I is in meter 4. So this will be kilonewton meter square. So now if we will go to the next deflection at C, now when we will go deflection at C, we have to take centroid from C. You can see over there. My force is same, but perpendicular distance changing is we have changed. And then I am going to get this as perpendicular distance we have changed. First part is as it is. And now here also we have this will be kilonewton meter square value of EI, and then we are going to get this value. Now see, bending moment we are going to clockwise. So where I have delta B will act in downward direction. Here also I have bending moment in clockwise direction. So what will be direction of delta? So direction of delta is again downward. So this is most important sign convention you keep in mind when you are going to use this method. So we have, this will be first problem where we have slope and deflection. Now we will go to the next problem, and here we have taken combination of the loads. So we have 40 kilonewton concentrated load and 10 kilonewton meter we have couple. Now you can draw a M by EI diagram, a common, or you can separate out. Then which is preferable? Preferable you go separate. Now by separate you can go for superposition also, that we will not take today. So we will see in next lecture. So by superposition I can get values directly, or I can go step by step. So today I will show you by step by step. So now you can see this M by EI diagram, but this is for 40 kilonewton. So what will be moment? So 40 into 5, so that will be 200. So we can see we have bending moment is 200 upon EI. Now this is for 40 kilonewton. So first part. Now I will go second, M by EI diagram. Now this is constant moment. So my A to C, this value I will get as same 10 upon EI. Now I know bending moment diagram for both. Now I will go to the conjugate beam. Now again we have conjugate beam same. So I have taken same problems today so that you are in position to understand it. And then next lecture we will go combination of the supports. Now we have this ACB, and now we will apply conjugate beam. So conjugate beam we have, so ACB we have this as conjugate beam, and then we have 200 upon EI, and that will be your conjugate beam with loading, and that is for 40 kilonewton. Actually this we have for 10 kilonewton meter. So this is for 10 kilonewton meter. So now here conjugate beam with M by EI diagram, and then we have this value which is at C. This will be 120 because we have 40 into 3, and that will gives us 120. So now we will go with second diagram. So I have 10 upon EI. So conjugate beam with M by EI diagram. So now we will go to find the values. Now where we have to find slope at C in real beam. So I have to find out shear force in conjugate beam. Now we have here combination because we have concentrated load also and we have couple also. So first we will see by concentrated load what we will get. Now we are going to consider, I have C over here. So I have to consider portion which is left of C, that is between A to C. Now what will be this total area that you can see? We have value at C is 120, that already we have seen. So we have to find the area of this, that is parallelogram 1 half into 2 into 200 plus 120 upon EI. So that will be first part which we will give for concentrated load, plus we have to go for second which is for your couple. Now this is constant, so we have only rectangle. So we have this value as plus 2 into 10 by EI. So knowing this, we are in position to get value of theta C. Now again we have this as positive. So my theta will be again clockwise. So we have this will be theta C. Now slope at B in real beam is shear force at B in conjugate beam. So now in B, what we are going? So we have first, that is between A to B, we have to consider this total. What will be this? Now we have triangle, so we have 1 half base into height. So we have this value for theta B. Now second we have to use again this part, because this is same, there is no change, because there is no bending moment between C to B due to M by EI diagram. And so this value I have to take as it is, means this term will be as it is. So we have this term as it is. And then we are going to get this as 520 radians, and that again we have clockwise because we have positive shear force, so that value will be clockwise. Now we will go to the deflection part. The deflection at C in real beam is bending moment at C in conjugate beam. Again we have this as conjugate beam, so we have to take moment at B due to this. Now what is its centroid? So we have 200, and here we have this value as 120. So 200 plus 2 into 120, because centroid we are calculating, and then we are going to get this value, and then we have this 2 into 10 upon EI, so that is 1 meter. So actually here we have to take 120 plus 2 into 200 actually, because we are taking this value that is from B, and that change we have to keep in mind. And then we are going to get this value of delta C, and second we have this part 2 upon 10 EI into 1 meter, and that will give us delta C. But now this again we are going to get clockwise, so we are going to get this value that is in downward direction. So we have clockwise, so plus, and we have considered clockwise value. If we got, then my deflection is in downward direction. And then we have last, that is deflection at C, and we are going to get moment of this, that is 2/3 from this side. So we have, that will be first part of this. And then we have second part, we can go for this M by EI diagram. So here we are going to get again from C. So we have C over here, and from C it will be 4 meter, because this is 3 plus 1 4. So this will be second term. So actually this will be 1 half. No, we do not have this term. So we have second term, that will be plus, and that will be 20 upon EI into 4. So we have 20 upon EI, and that will be into 4. And then we have to calculate it, and by calculating this value we are going to get value of delta C, and again we are going to get it as clockwise, so that is in downward. So keep in mind EI should be always in kilonewton meter square, so that you have to keep in mind, that should not be kilonewton per meter square. E is in kilonewton per meter square, but when we will go for EI, so that should be in kilonewton meter square. So we have this will be kilonewton meter square. So we have these problems which we have covered today, and today we will stop here only, and we will go, that is on Monday on at 9:30, and we will go combination of the supports, and then we will solve the problems. So Monday, because